Bring it on.
Said that hard times create strong men. Well, they create strong women too, right?
In your election, will you accept the results?
Talk about the issues. I came on here thinking we were going to talk about the issues facing Arizonans right now. It's terrible. Defunding our police. How do they come up with this stuff?
They call her Trump in heels.
I'm running against a coward who won't show up for the job interview. So we're going to do a tutorial in how fake, bogus, defamatory news is made. We are strong. We are the people. We'll save Arizona. We can do it together, Arizona, because God is with us. He's with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Kari Lake.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, CPAC, I love you so much. This crowd is amazing. Something tells me you're here to see somebody who's coming up a little bit later on, but that's okay. I'm happy you're here right now. I love you too. I love you too. It's just every time I stand on the CPAC stage, I realize what a miracle this all is. I mean, I am standing here as proof that every single American can make a difference in this fight that we're up against. I kind of got into this as a fed-up mom. Maybe you've heard a little bit about my story. I decided to run for office. I was sick of the status quo. I walked away from the fake news and walked away from my career and said, I don't want to do that anymore. Oh boy, best decision I ever made, by the way. Like you and like the people of Arizona, I'd grown sick of the open borders, of the wide open borders, of the cartels running the show, of fentanyl pouring across our border, killing our young people. This isn't drug overdoses that we're seeing. This is a poisoning of our youth. And if you don't think that China and Mexico can bring down an entire civilization with drugs, then you need to study the opium wars, because that's how they did it. And they're trying to kill our young people. But as a mom, I got sick of that. Why weren't our elected officials doing something about it? Why were these politicians more interested in dealing and helping Ukraine than helping their own citizens? And so I stepped into the fray. Boy, I had no idea what was about to happen. I jumped in, I decided to run, and we started a movement. I thought we were alone at first. We started a movement of moms and dads, of grandmas and grandpas, of students. Even the little ones were with us. It was really quite amazing. And we led this movement on the precipice of making Arizona great again. And they knew that that was dangerous. They knew that was dangerous. They couldn't have someone like me in office who's going to shut down the cartels at the border. They were so afraid of me and so afraid of we the people that they stopped us by any means necessary. And they did that on November 8th, on Election Day. Did you all hear about what happened in Arizona? They stole an election in broad daylight, right in front of us. And then they dared us to do something about it. They dared us to do something. Here's what happened. On Election Day, when all of our people were showing up, they printed intentionally the wrong image on the ballot so that you would put your ballot into the tabulator and it would be spit out. 250,000 ballots were rejected on Election Day across Maricopa County. And let me remind you, this was happening in the Republican areas to vote. It was so bad, I told my team, I don't want to vote in a Republican area. I've got to go find the most liberal part of town and vote there, and that's what we did. We drove across town, I voted in the liberal part of town, got in and out, no problem, machines were working, everything was fine. But in over 60% of the polling locations, primarily in all of the Republican areas, they were printing the wrong ballots, the machines weren't working, they were being spit out, and the Republicans in Arizona were disenfranchised. 75% of them voting that day were Republicans. They did this intentionally. And they thought, can you imagine this? They thought that we would roll over and go quietly into the night. No. Yeah, she just said it. She said, no. Hell no, they messed with the wrong mama bear. They messed with the wrong mama bear, and this mama bear is going to tear them to shreds. That they would think they can steal another election. So what we're doing is we have the strongest election lawsuit this country's ever seen, and we just filed it at the Arizona Supreme Court this week. It's great. And we are exposing these criminals who are stealing our elections, and we're exposing them every single day. We want to know who they are, and we want to make sure we drive them out of office. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to do that. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen with our case. I'm not a justice on the Supreme Court. I hope they do the right thing and apply the law. We have an exceptional case. We have the proof right there. But I'm going to be really honest with you. This is in God's hands. I wish it were in my hands solely, because I would do everything I could, but I'd rather it be in God's hands. And you know what else is in God's hands? Us staying in the game. As President Ronald Reagan once said, when you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. And they may think that they won, but I know they're feeling the heat. They're actually, we've got them in the frying pan right now. This is true. And I know, I'm going to tell you why. Now, I can't believe this actually happened, and I wasn't sure if I was going to share it here at CPAC. I wonder if the fake news will even cover this. Something happened to me this week before I left for CPAC, and it shows how desperate these people are to stop me and to silence you. I decided to share this. It's a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put this out. Somebody showed up at my door this week. They called me before and said, I got to talk to you in person. This can't be done over the phone, which is always kind of like, uh-oh, what's that going to be about? They came to my door and they tried to bribe me out of getting out of politics. It's really happened. I'm telling you this because this is how disgusting politics is. A mom who runs for office and they're afraid of me. They tried to bribe me with a job title, with a huge salary, a position on a board. This is how they do it. And I said, are you kidding me? I walked away from a big job and a big salary. I'm not motivated by that stuff, guys. I'm not. So this person standing before me was sent at the request of some powerful people back east. They want me out of politics. But wait a minute. I thought they already stopped us. Why are they so afraid? I thought they already stopped our movement. So, well, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know. I'm just on God's time right now. And when I said no to this person, they didn't take no for an answer. They said, well, what will it take? What is your price? How do we keep you out? Name your price. This really happened this week. Name your price. All we're asking for you to do is to get out of politics for 2 years. Okay, CPAC, I gotta ask you, do you think I should sit out for 2 years? Should we put our movement on ice for 2 years? I didn't think so. Or should we double down and stay in this? Let's double down. Now, I'm going to be honest. At that very moment, I wanted to sick my dog on him. But I have a pug, and it wasn't going to happen. So I said, you let your handlers back east know that I can't name a price, because there is no price that I would sell out my country for. Not $1 million, not $10 million, not $100 million. I love you right back. But I'll tell you, this tells me that they do not want my name on a ballot again. And I have a message. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And so that got me very fired up. I was packing for CPAC, and this happened, and I'm like, I'm so fired up. And then after this weekend at CPAC, CPAC has a way of firing up us again, right? So I just want you to know, as we leave here, they may act, and they're gaslighting us, and they may act like they're in control. We, the people, are in control. We are in control. And I have complete faith, and I have complete confidence that this country can and will get things back on track. 100%. Because America First is not over yet. The world is just about to see what great things can happen when we invest in America, when we rebuild America, when we educate America, and when we finally come together as Americans proudly. We can do great things. So I say that we spend, I don't know about you, but I say we spend every single day from here going forward striving to make America great again. And that starts with re-electing President Donald J. Trump. Let's do it. CPAC, I love you. America, I love you. God bless America. Thank you so much.